Okay, so, well, let's save. Hey guys, how's it going? So, before we do anything here, let's just activate our squad ammo on everybody's weapons. And yes, having incendiary ammo for this mission I think will be helpful. As I was saying, I think armor is our top priority to remove. So it is quite nice to have that here. We do both weapons for people? I think so. Probably still gonna want... are we gonna prefer Claymore or Medic on Grunt? I'm not entirely sure, to tell you the truth. Maybe Claymore. And then... Incisor for... The weapon choice is gonna be a little bit awkward for Thane, I'm afraid.
Change weapons.
This may not be the... That may be another reason why it's not the perfect fit for him. Again, we're kind of forcing the issue a little bit, trying to get Thane another opportunity here. But I think everyone should be loaded up on the ammos here, so let's get going. And did we get any journal update here? For Stop the Collectors, it doesn't seem like it. Other than just go to this brown dwarf we just went to and recover the Reaper IFF, which we are trying to do. Oh. Well, that doesn't look good.
Smells bad. There's blood, but something's wrong with it.
Something's wrong with their blood. Okay. Okay. Let's see, we've got wall safe we can bypass. Let's go for that. And very easy one at that. There's a few extra credits. Then we have another wall safe we can bypass. Doubt this one will be as easy, but we can see. This is a little tricky there, just because they're so close together. Huzzah. More credits. And then we've got a work log, and we have a terminal we can access. Terminal is more monies. So, doing well in that sense, right off the bat.
The airlock has been installed at the far end of the hold section. We have begun pressurization for shirt sleeves work. The crew is edgy. I reassure them it is mere nerves, a superstitious reaction to what this hulk represents. The corpse of a vast ancient life form. Privately, I can't deny the atmosphere. The angles of the walls seem to press down on you. I find myself clenching my teeth.
Okay, and we get a codex entry for Reaper's indoctrination. So in case there was any question, any question as to what exactly was happening there, yeah. So, let's see, what category does that fall under? Not entirely sure. If that counts as aliens, non-council races? Technology, even? Reaper's indoctrination here.
Reaper indoctrination is an insidious means of corrupting organic minds, reprogramming the brain through physical and psychological conditioning, using electromagnetic fields, infrasonic and ultrasonic noise, and other subliminal methods. The Reaper's resulting control over the limbic system leaves the victim highly susceptible to its suggestions. Organics undergoing indoctrination may complain of headaches and buzzing or ringing in their ears. As time passes, they have feelings of being watched and hallucinations of ghostly presences. Ultimately, the Reaper gains the ability to use the victim's body to amplify its signals, manifesting as alien voices in the mind. Indoctrination can create perfect deep cover agents. The Reaper's suggestions can manipulate victims into betraying friends, trusting enemies, or viewing the Reaper itself with superstitious awe. Should a Reaper subvert a well-placed political or military leader, the resulting chaos can bring down nations. Long-term physical effects of the manipulation are unsustainable. Higher mental functioning decays, ultimately leaving the victim a gibbering animal. Rapid indoctrination is possible, but causes this decay in days or weeks. Slow, patient indoctrination allows the thrall to last for months or years.
Okay, so obviously we learned a lot about indoctrination in Mass Effect 1, although I suppose for whatever reason we're only learning about it in Mass Effect 2, or at least getting the codex entry for it here. And rather fitting that we see it is Saren, who appears to be that picture there for it, in case there are any questions as to whether that is what happened to Saren in Mass Effect 1 or not. But, well, so, group of what appear to be humans researching this, what they might have thought to be dead Reaper, in the hopes of learning more about it, but the thing is, as we learned when we started to fly over here, the Mass Effect fuel fort was still active, which seems odd. That's kind of suspicious. And then the way he was describing how the walls felt like they were closing in on him sounded a lot like the types of things we've heard in the past about indoctrination. So let's prepare ourselves accordingly here. Actually, what weapon are we going to want for ourselves? Maybe the Matic. Maybe the Matic. Okay, so we've got that stuff there. We've got medical station. We do need the Metagel for what it's worth. Okay, we need the first one, not the second one.
We finished cataloging specimens A203 to B016. No evidence of active nanotechnology noted. Dr. Chandana believes they would have decayed over the last 37 million years. There's not enough data to support his claim. He asserts that the truth is patently obvious. I am concerned. Chandana has been staring at the samples for hours. He says he's listening to them.
Yeah, that sounds a whole lot like indoctrination as well. So, great. Love it. Just love it. Let's save. And then we'll carry on here. And it sounds like, based on what we've heard already, things may not be as quiet and peaceful here as we might have initially expected.
Normandy to shore party.
What just happened?
The Reaper put up kinetic barriers. I don't think we can get through from our side.
We're trapped. How disquieting.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we can shut them off.
We'll have to take down the barrier generators from in here. Any idea where they are?
At the moment of activation, I detected a heat spike in what is likely the Rex Mass Effect core, sending the coordinates now. Be advised, this core is also maintaining the Reaper's altitude.
So when we take the barriers down to escape, the wreck falls into the planet core.
And that means everyone dies. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, well, Joker can get us out, right?
If any helmsman can pull us off this thing before it reaches crush depth, it's you. We'll make a sweep for survivors and recover what data we can. Stand by.
Aye, aye. Good hunting.
Okay. And one other thing that I forgot to mention as we were selecting our setup here. This is a mission that you could theoretically justify bringing the cane on. That is the heavy weapon that you charge up after a little while and then it goes big bada boom. And we used it twice thus far. Once for, I think, what was it, the smuggling depot where there were the 3 Yammer mechs that we wanted to immediately destroy. So we did it then, and we also did it for the Overlord final boss fight, because that's my least favorite mission in the entire trilogy. Yeah, that huge explosion one that is technically the highest damage weapon in the game. There is reason to potentially bring it for this mission if you'd like. But, of course, we opted to go for the more crowd control option with the Avalanche instead. So, before we get too far in, just want to acknowledge that that is, if you're playing along with us, something that you might want to consider if you haven't yet locked in your setup for this mission. Also, more dead bodies, which is lovely.
What a mess. Anyone else hungry?
This makes you think of food? I hear something. Door closed behind us.
Sounds like the Reaper was affecting their minds.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy. They shared memories? Somehow? Okay, there's definitely stuff down this way. Anything over here, or is this just a dead end? Looks like this might just be a dead end. Okay. Sure. That also looks like it may be an explosive container of some variety. So we might want to be on the lookout for those. Yeah, that's an explosive crate. I think that is as well. And more dead bodies.
Contact.
Oh! Contact. Enemies.
It will be Krogan!
Okay, see, but, see, Grunt, like, don't hide next to that explosive container. So, it's an abomination. I'm fairly certain. Which means it explodes on death. So we do want to be careful of that. I think I might have been seeing something way down there. Keep our eyes peeled for that kind of stuff. But, okay. So, I think there might have been a Husk in that group as well. Husk or 2, or 3, or 4, or however many there are directly on top of us right now. So now you understand what I mean when I said that we wanted to focus on crowd control and armor removal. Try to take out these Husks. Oh, I'm pretty sure we just exploded one of the explosive crates directly on top of us.
As I must.
I'm here.
Again, I mean, we were standing far enough away. Our squad mates were not. So we'll give them a second to get those shields back. But yeah, so that's why crowd control, armor removal were going to be important things. Go back up. Anything else here?
I thought Geth made these husk things.
I suppose this confirms a Reaper origin.
If they're coming from a Reaper ship, Geth, excuse me, Grunt. Geth, we had assumed were the people who had created the group that had created Husks, because when we first saw Husks, it was when we first saw Geth. And so we just put 2 and 2 together back at the beginning of Mass Effect 1. But that is a pretty profound observation, to tell you the truth, because of course Husks have been one of the most common enemies we've ever encountered. And throughout the entirety of Mass Effect 1, throughout the entirety of Mass Effect 2. And that's just, perhaps, if that is true, further indication of the influence the Reapers have had, if they've been able to create that many... Oh. Whoa, what? Oh, okay, fortunately we were not standing next to them, and they blew that up. We almost were. That's a Husk. Okay, again, we need to be careful that our teammates, such as Grunt right now, do not make a point of taking cover on explosive containers. It does seem as though they are making a bit of a habit of doing that. Yup. Especially because the Husks keep on spawning in here. Ooh, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And so that is one of the reasons why we brought Grunt, was because he, at least in theory, is the best person for tanking the Husks in case they do get close to us. Then again, you remember that mission in the mine. More targets. It is time an abomination, though, so this one explodes. So we want to be very careful with this. And we do seem to be able to one-shot their armor with Breathe, at least in the case of this abomination. That's big, because that means we can then follow immediately thereafter with something like a throw. Ooh. You spawned in very quickly. That one still has armor. We are still on cooldown. That abomination? No, that's a normal Husk on Grunt, so he can take one of them, right? Let's throw this one. Let's reeve that one. Help Grunt out a bit. But, yeah, we did have that mission in the cave system where we had the countless number of Husks, which was in some ways in some ways, sort of like a test for Grunt. And that's an abomination as well. Don't think they spawn endlessly here. I think there's just a lot of them. I think? But I am a little alarmed at the rate at which... frequency at which they are spawning here.
Burn and die.
Thane is venturing forward for what it's worth. Still one more. At least one more. That's an abomination. Let's ideally keep it a bit further away from us. Please, no.
Third day with this headache. You'd think Chandana would have let me have a few hours off. God damn! What? That thing, that just gray thing, it disappeared when I looked straight at it. It came out of the damn wall, where we took off that panel. I didn't see anything. You should lie down. I'm telling you, the ship isn't dead. It knows we're inside it. Calm down. Now I'm getting a headache.
Okay, and also, I don't think I noted this before, but Cerberus researcher. So Cerberus is the group that is trying to check this place out. So, in theory, that means the Elusive Man, you would assume, knew about this. And, well, the headaches, again, another sign of indoctrination. That looks like a dead person. Trying to get ammo here. If we can do so without spawning in more enemies. I think we can. Let's save. Because, yeah, as you can see, kind of like that cave. A lot of enemies here. A lot of husks. Fair number of abominations as well. So we gotta be really careful not to get overrun. Because they can outnumber us very easily. Ooh. What was that?
Sniper! Shooter is good. Good enough they should come out of hiding.
Huh? Someone else? On the ship? Well, we've got some stuff here. Trying to be on the lookout for... Ooh, that doesn't look good. There's the dragon teeth that, of course, we saw in Mass Effect 1. Okay, there's platinum here. Power cells, which we do not need, but sure, we'll take it anyway. So Cerberus rifle
This should come in handy.
gives us a sniper rifle damage upgrade. That's sweet. Terminal for extra credits. And that may be it here. Yeah, seeing Cerberus, the sigil here, the logo. Let's save. So yeah, it seems as though there was a pretty significant Cerberus presence here in that case. Yeah, what is the deal with this other person on the ship? That looks intimidating. As does that. No signs of enemies at the moment, at least. This is a very big area, though. What is that? You have very keen eyes. You might be able to tell. Alright, but let's carry on. And this looks a whole lot like, yep, a big battlefield. That's an abomination. Let's prioritize it. Okay, let's also not press too far forward here. I think that's gonna cause problems if we do. I think we want to try to inch forward as slowly as we can. We do have ammo back here, I believe. We didn't need to use. Yeah, so let's try to use a little bit more, and then we can fall back to that if needed. More enemies? Question mark. Yes, definitely. Definitely. In fact, more enemies in exactly the same spots does, again, give a little bit of the perception of, hey, do we actually need to progress forward in order to prevent an infinite spawning situation? Or can we keep on going here and just chip away at their numbers? Because this time it's just a couple of husks, no abomination this go around. So that's a sign of improvement. Okay, I don't like grunts going off in his own like that, though. Please come back here.
Moving.
Because we can certainly take 2 husks at a time. But if we start getting 20 husks at a time, then things get complicated. But we'll keep it slow and steady. Yeah, does seem as though they will continue to spawn here. So if there's just a finite number of enemies and we're whittling away at that number every time we do this, then that is fine.
Yeah, right on your ass.
Again? Question mark? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. So there you go. So at least this group of enemies we appear to have dealt with. That appears to be our way forward, but there's definitely more stuff here. And more enemies as well. A whole lot more enemies. Okay. Things just got interesting. Because not only husks, that, I'm afraid, right there, is a sign. And they are really nasty. Okay, so let's fall back a bit. And then, a little bit closer. Let's breathe and blow that up on basically everybody. No, Thane, I'm not trying to hit you, I promise. Okay, so trying to get rid of... Oh, Thane. The little husks, and then finish with the Scion, because if we're dealing with the Scion by itself, then it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, remember... Oh no, not charge. Remember, a lifted husk will automatically die. You need to get rid of its defenses first. Where is... Oh, Grunt, you went down as well. Means it's just us against the Scion. That's not good. That does hurt. Does hurt a lot. That may kill us if it hits us. Still has a lot of armor here. I don't particularly like. Okay, we might need to use a gel here. We can reeve, it does give us additional armor back, but don't think this is a time where we want to be greedy with our gels. Front is right on top of it. Granted, it is now pretty close to dead. What was that? I've never seen a Scion do that before. But okay. So, as we have now seen, more than just husks, more than just abominations, the occasional Scion as well, and they can be quite tricky. Now, if we had had Grunt and Thane not immediately die to the Scions, which I tried to get them to fall back so that they wouldn't, then that could have been a fair bit easier, but I'm afraid that was not the case. Now, are there going to be more enemies over here? If we progress further? There is a medkit down here, which would be nice to nab after having used a few meta-gels there. Not seeing anyone spawn in. So yeah, let's nab this. We need it. And then this is a hack. That was a bit of a tricky encounter, so let's save and then test out this hack. Fortunately, a quick one there. Then I feel like I missed this one. I think there was a easy answer to it. There's one though. And this one, is it this? It is.
this?
And that is heavy skin weave, which is usually a defensive upgrade, so that's nice. Definitely a good pickup there. Oh. So those are dragon teeth. We saw them a lot in Mass Effect 1, but we are seeing them here again in Mass Effect 2, and as I was saying, when we first saw them, it was with Geth. And so the assumption at the time was that it was Geth technology, but as we're seeing here, it is coming from a Reaper ship. And so that presumably means it is Reaper technology, and that is where the husks came from. So that means ipso facto, presumably, the husks are actually Reapers, or at least made by the Reapers. Technically speaking, what you can do in this encounter is you can rush over to this door. You can take down like the first husks and abominations as we did, and then rush for this door and try to bypass it as quickly as possible before you get run down by the Scion and the much bigger wave of enemies. We obviously didn't do that, because if you do, then that means you're not going to be able to double back to pick up that heavy skin weave upgrade, which is a nice thing to get. So I did not want to go that route. But it is theoretically an option. Okay, so I think we've gotten everything we want over there. Let's press onward. Hey, that's almost a Mass Effect 1 line.
We've gone 5 days without a workplace death.
Is that true, though? It's a Geth? Aiming for our head? No, aiming for the husks behind us.
Shepard, Commander.
What?
Geth talk. Since it knows you, tell it I don't need its help.
I thought Geth always act in groups. Their intelligence is distributed.
Yeah, the Geth seemed to know us, referred to us by name, had some unusual Geth armor, and as they were just saying, the Geth are a collective intelligence that gets stronger the more of them are in close proximity to one another, so that would usually mean that Geth would work in groups, otherwise they'd be too weak to, be able to do the things they need to do. So, unless there's a whole bunch of other Geth here, then that seems very strange. But yeah, as you can see here, after going through that door, we cannot go back. So that's why, if you do rush to go through and bypass that door, then you miss out on the heavy skin weave, which is why we did not do that.
Hostile!
Ooh, but we got more enemies here. They're coming in, and once again, lots of explosive containers. So, guys, please do not hang out right next to them all. Like Thane, I appreciate that you're trying to take cover, but at the same time, just like falling back would be preferable, I think. Is there abomination here? I think there might have been. I think I see the fire. We just reeve this area.
One step closer.
Let's throw the one that's closest to us. Try to take that out. Then, we have more abominations here, or just husks? Not as concerned about the husks. We do have a lot of armored husks, some of which are still coming out here. I think this one is the most dangerous right now, closest to us. Okay, then let's concussive blast here. Okay. Then leave here. Do we get 2 of them? I'm not sure if we did or not. Let's see if we can get rid of that armor and then use throw field. Ideally get multiple of them. We might have, actually. We might have. Okay, then area reeve, hit 2. Get rid of both of their armor. Yeah, that's huge. Being able to remove all armor on 2 husks simultaneously, multiple husks simultaneously. Still one more here, was there? No? Perhaps not? Okay. That did use a fair bit of ammo, though. So yeah, we could have more here, that'd be great. Any more where they came from, because it does seem like oftentimes we see additional enemies spawn where the first groups came from. Anything else? Over here, yes. See a terminal we can access. That's it. Where exactly was it, though? It's up there. Ooh, we can still get it, though. Okay, nice. That is deviously hidden, though. I wonder if it might be something we could go around to later on, because, oh, got a medkit here as well. Hold on, can we go up there somehow? Probably? Perhaps on a future occasion, because right now it feels like we're just taking this stuff from, you know, down below or through walls or what have you, but I mean, we still need it at the moment, because we used a couple of metagels to bring back Thane and Grunt previously, so, yeah, I mean, sure. Why not? Let's maybe save as well, because, yeah, we are running into a lot of enemies here. That may not end anytime soon. Yep. I'm pretty sure... Oh, pretty sure he said heavy. Does make me a little nervous of potentially scions, if that is, in fact, the case. That's an abomination, so let's make sure we dispose of that. Okay. Still seeing a whole lot of red dots on our map here. That should finish off the abomination. Let's area read these husks. And then throw field, ideally all of them. That last one has armor, so it's not really going to be effective, but that is definitely a scion. For a second, I looked up and saw Grunt, and I thought he was a scion. It also doesn't help that there is a scion with a name right where Grunt is scanning, but I think it is behind that cover there. Yeah. I think it might be able to hit us through that. It might be able to. I'm not 100% sure about that, but we may need to be careful. It can definitely hit us if it pokes out like that. Oh, Grunt! Grunt went down once again to the... possibly the Scions? Okay, Thane, if you could throw field. Scion doing a shockwave? Yes, it is. Did it nail Thane? It may have. Thane is not looking good at the moment. Let's try to help him out a bit here. He's getting a bit overwhelmed. Try to throw them all. Try to reave them all. Buy Thane some time. Just stay mobile. Stay mobile. Okay, Thane does have his throw back off cooldown. Do these husks, any of them have armor? That one does. I think it may still be worth a quick reave here. Really hoping we're going to get that one too. And then, Thane, if you could bail us out real quick. Thank you. What is the Scion up to? I think the Scion is busy walking around. So it was basically sniping us from that platform over there, but I think it had to go down and around, and so it is currently a little occupied with doing that. This husk, now that it is armorless, wouldn't be too bad to deal with. Especially once we do that. Okay. Now the Scion may be showing itself again. My guess is that that is what Thane was starting to shoot at. Yep, there it is. It's coming up. Ooh, that nailed us. That absolutely nailed us. Ooh, we're running this way. Please warp it and read it. There we go. Okay. When we have a teammate,
I'm with you. Got it.
to help us out when we're taking down a Scion, then it is considerably easier, but when we're soloing a Scion, less so. We almost ran out of ammo, at least on the Matic there. But yeah, Grunt is just, he's supposed to be the tank, but he's just getting a little too aggressive. A little too aggressive. I mean, that is only temporary, the fortification, but I don't know, maybe he's not activating it regularly enough. Okay, so
Ahead.
more enemies, I'm afraid. Certainly hoping not any more scions where those guys came from. Let's try to hit the middle guy if we can with the Reeves. That way, we might hit all of them. Hit it? It did. Likewise with the throw. Nice. Optimized biotics. You'll love to see it. More? Question mark? Question mark? So this is where the Scion was attacking us from before, was up here. Was an explosive container behind it, but we didn't really have the time to take it out, or really the angle either. So yeah, we had gone up here. Well, we'd seen some of the stuff up here. This is what we were looting previously. So I think there was a terminal over there that we got. There was this metagel that we picked up. So, okay. Got a little ahead of ourselves in that sense. Oh, we got more though. This one's an abomination. Saw that much. Don't really have an easy target on it though. Is it just him? No, there are more enemies. Tell if any of them are scions. That's a husk. Okay, let's just take you out. This would have been a good group to hit with AoE. Back. Let's blow them up. Okay, Thane. Don't be a hero.
Make contact.
Okay. That's enough to take them out. But yep, there's more where that came from, it seems. This time it's another abomination. Leave it. Throw it. Away it goes. But more where that came from. This time it's husks. Let's concussive blast these guys. Okay, more husks. So again, with organized, deliberately planned biotics where we remove the barrier, or rather remove the armor, and then do crowd control, lifting abilities, that is efficient. But when people are on cooldown, or when people go down altogether, then one person has to do everything, and things can get a little out of hand pretty quickly. But this works well. This does work well. Alright. Take more of that any day. But the scions and the larger quantity of enemies can cause issues. Another medkit down there that I would love to nab. Looks like that is the quote-unquote correct direction, so to speak. Ooh. That also is way down, though. Try to nab this. Signs of enemies? Not at the moment. But I imagine that may very well change. So yeah, I'm going to save pretty frequently in this mission, I think. Oh yeah, this just takes us to the same place. Okay. And then there's our little stairs. Enemies down here. Yup.
Contact.
Oh, all around us. Okay. I immediately regret being down here. There's a server shotgun we can scan. Sounds good, but I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Let's fall back. Like, right there. And that's a scion I could hear. Up there. Okay, you guys need to fall further back. Otherwise, we're going to die, possibly right now. That scion has an unfortunately good sniping position on us. But Let's save Thane right now. Grunt is already dead. Thane is about to die. Thane, if you could, like, do really anything right now. Trying to not die, that would be appreciated. Okay, so can we fall back enough here to take out this group of husks? I'd love to get area recall before Thane throws, but Thane is getting grabbed. Ooh, that did not remove your armor. Did not move any of your armor? Some of your armor. Thane's getting pulverized. Really want Thane's throw, though. It would be huge. Except he died. Oh, this is a dead end here. So this is not particularly good. So we don't have the best crowd control. You're not dead. Oh, you did land the punch. You did land the punch. Really? I just want to get out of here. And review again. Okay. That's, I believe, all the husks. There's still the Scion, who is probably slowly advancing on us. The question is, do we try to solo the Scion, or do we try to bring Thane and Grunt back? 8 metagels? I think it's worth it. I think it is. Yeah, Grunt is getting revived directly on top of where the Scion is. So admittedly, that may have been a death sentence for him. Scion here is not very heavily damaged at the moment. There are more... Now there are more enemies here, of course. Okay. If we fall back, though, and actually fall back for real, we might be able to actually take down these husks with our entire group, which, as we've said, as we've proven in the past, we are certainly capable of doing with the right coordination. Let's go concussive blast there. Let's go get our Reeve back before we use Thane's throw for being greedy. Then we use Thane's throw. Try to get all of them here. There we go. Then armor down. Oh, that's good. You. Blast you. Okay. I think once again it is just the Scion. But now we actually have our full team. Okay, guys, Thane. Thane, no. Bad Thane. Okay, this might even be a sniper situation for Thane. The, same for Grunt, giving him a little bit more of a ranged weapon with his Matic. Might be the answer. That's just a husk. Where's the Scion? I mean, we can pull you from this angle. There's the Scion. And at least one more husk hit. The Scion's back there. I was hoping we could solo the Scion. No, Grunt. Fall back. Fall back, everyone. Grunt, fall back. I'm telling you to fall back. So I want to try to face the Scion solo if we can. I think that would make matters considerably easier. Thane is way over there.
Feel the blood rage.
Okay, once again, I think it may only be the Scion. Try to, when we can, pepper it with some damage. Cooldown's back. Ooh, you're retreating? Kinda, sorta. Now it's poking back out. Hit you again. Poke back out again. Wait for it to poke back out again. Doing this weird hide-and-seek game with the Scion. Does try to throw in a shockwave there, or its equivalent of a shockwave, but that should finish it off. So that was a tough one. Let's save. Any more enemies down here? Don't think so. And it's funny because when I think of like shotgun damage, that's sweet. Obviously, we haven't been using our Keth Plasma shotgun as much ever since getting the Matic, but shotgun damage is still a welcome sight. But it's funny because the Scions, in many ways, when I think of them, and when I think of my first encounter, or at least when I think of facing Scions in Mass Effect 2, I think this very encounter, it might be this exact spot, facing that Scion is the thing that comes to mind. Somewhere deep in the recesses of my mind, that is the picture I have in my head of them.